Homeless protesters in St Peter's Square await an eviction decision.
Oh, and what's my line? Oh, that's right. I went to see why the people of Manchester are starting to get hooked on fishing.
And with rumours of an Oasis comeback, has the city of Manchester changed since the Gallaghers last made music together? Welcome to Keys News. We start with news that the number of violent and sexual offences across Greater Manchester have increased by over 1,300 between 2013 and 2014. Salford has seen the greatest increase, with 60% more than in 2013. We talked to one victim who feels the police are not doing enough.
You don't feel safe in this area. I wake up on a night and I don't know where I am. And I wake up thinking I'm in the taxi and it's happening again. God. The police have just been absolutely horrendous. They'd ring us and be like, oh, can you come to the police station? But be like, oh, this one, and then change their mind. Like, we used to end up going to the police station, like the wrong one all the time. We'd go to try and do the ID things and it would take hours for us to get seen. So I ended up missing so much uni because of doing police stuff.
Now, apologies for the interference within that piece there. We contacted Greater Manchester Police for a comment, but we are yet to receive a response. Now, a candlelit vigil will be held at Manchester Cathedral tonight in tribute to the victims of the earthquake in Nepal. More than 5,000 people have died and 3 people from Greater Manchester have been named as missing by the Red Cross. Cheshire Fire Service are in Nepal helping with the search and rescue mission. If you'd like to donate or offer any help towards the rescue mission, then the details are on your screen now.
It's decision time for protesters out St Peter's Square. They are preparing to go to court tomorrow for an eviction hearing.
The campers were originally outside the town hall and were moved to St Peter's Square on Monday. The demonstrators are against the council's treatment of Manchester's homeless. Vicky Barker has more.
Huddled together for a cause they're passionate about. Most people occupying these tents are homeless, the rest anti-cuts protesters. They've been camping outside the Central Library since Monday, after receiving an eviction notice last week, forcing them to move on from their original protest spot outside Manchester Town Hall.
Well, the aim is to get the council to do more for the homeless. They've actively cut £2 million worth of funding over a number of years, shutting down 9 hostels. They put the eviction in. We knew that the bailiffs were going to come in on the Monday morning, so we moved early hours of the morning, so the eviction never actually took place. We've not been evicted from anywhere yet. We are in court again Friday for another eviction hearing.
If the protesters receive another eviction notice, they say they'll set up camp here in Piccadilly Gardens. Officials from the council visited the demonstration earlier this week. They were confronted by angry protesters who can be heard in this mobile phone footage comparing them to Nazis. Tomorrow's court hearing may make the camp's future at St Peter's Square a cloudy one, but demonstrators say they've received a lot of public support.
It does get cold, but we have got a lot of donations of blankets and sleeping bags, so we can keep ourselves quite warm.
No, they weren't even paid.
Whatever tomorrow's outcome, there's no sign of this protest slowing down just yet. Vicky Barker, Keys TV News.
Let's get the latest on the election now. With polls showing the Conservatives and Labour neck and neck with 7 days to go until the general election, we could be seeing yet another hung parliament. That's right. But what does that term mean? Well, with us now is our political correspondent, Emily Wilson. Thanks for coming in. What does hung parliament then actually mean?
Well, a hung parliament is when no political party has 326 seats or more in the House of Commons. Now, a party needs a majority of seats in order to win the election. We went out to see if the people of Manchester actually knew this.
Basically, no one's got a majority, so you have to form some sort of like example now, coalition, some sort of agreement together. So I think that's basically what it is.
So there's no outstanding majority, like there's no absolute winner or something along those lines. I know that I'm not doing very well in my words, but that's my understanding of it.
Yeah. So, do you know at all what a hung parliament is?
A what?
Smashed it.
I think it's probably where there's no absolute majority. And so then negotiations have to take place as to who's going to coalesce with whom.
So a bit of a mixed bag there, Emily. So what would a hung parliament actually mean for the people of Manchester?
Well, it's all down to the way that the people of Manchester actually vote. There are 9 marginal constituencies in Greater Manchester, so the way that those people vote in particular will mean a lot to the final result of the election.
All right, thanks very much, Emily. So from a hung parliament to hung fish, Bradley. I believe there's been something fishy going on with you, has there?
Yes, that's right, Siobhan. I went to meet the real fishermen of Bolton to understand why so many young people are getting hooked on fishing.
Fishing, a hobby enjoyed by millions of people, is fast becoming one of the most popular sports in the country. And now a charity is keen to get young people literally hooked on fishing.
There's projects dotted around the country. Each one is funded quite differently depending on funding streams and the kind of groups that they work with. But we all have a focus of getting young people engaged in the sport of angling to try and divert them away from crime, antisocial behaviour, to improve their behaviour levels in schools or, you know, in the general community.
Get Hooked on Fishing is a charity that claims it can provide good opportunities for young people and also boost their confidence for people like me who want to take on the sport.
Some are still working with me, you know, and they're now 18-ish. Their parents have told me that without fishing, their kids wouldn't have had anything to focus on.
The charity have said that research proves fishing can help people transform their lives, and it's communities like this one in Bolton where they are doing just that.
Through my behaviour in school, so the school put me on courses and they said I can go do certain things, and I chose fishing because I want to get into it. It calmed me down if I get like stressed. Say if I get stressed at home, I just come fishing and it calms me down.
Some might say the increase in young anglers isn't welcomed, but as we spoke with a long-serving fisherman, it was clear this wasn't the case.
Oh, more young uns the better. The more young uns, because if you've learned out, right, you can always tell them. Are you with me? Put this into it, it gives them a different perspective. There's something to look forward to. There's something away from going home, having no food on table, getting beat up, arguments, seeing your mum and dad booze, whatever, it doesn't matter. But coming here, it's like a break from it. And if you can keep doing it, then, obviously, it'll make you a better person.
Get Hooked on Fishing was created to help young people stay clear of antisocial behaviour and inspire generations to take part in a sport that's managed to change people's lives for the better.
Oh, OK.
In the tree.
Bradley Harris, Keys News, Bolton.
That's not bad, that.
So, Bradley, did you actually get hooked on fishing?
Oh, well, I don't know about that, Siobhan, but I know that Ben has actually been hooked on the varsity rowing this week. So, Ben, how did they get on?
Well, Bradley, for Manchester it was plain sailing. The two-city boat race took place on Salford Quays last weekend. Manchester and Salford University competed to be crowned varsity rowing champions, but it was Manchester that struck gold. Carly Foster has more.
Let's pull away, let's go! Yes, Salford, come on!
It's the biggest race of the year for
Apologies for the difficulties there. We'll have that again here. But now in cricket, Lancashire County Cricket Club beat Kent at Emirates Old Trafford yesterday in the LV County Championship Division 2. The 9-wicket victory is not the only celebration for the club though. They've announced a £793,000 profit for 2014. This follows almost £9 million in losses from 2009 to 2013. The increase in profit is a result of the Ashes test and a multi-million-pound regeneration to the ground. And this summer, the Red Rose County Club will host 2 one-day internationals against Australia and New Zealand. And now we'll go back to the Varsity Rowing Championship package from Carly Foster.
Go! Yes, Salford, come on!
It's the biggest race of the year for Salford rowers. It's the race where our two rival cities battle it out for victory, otherwise known as varsity. But despite a year of intense training, there was one clear winner yet again.
Very proud. All the hours of training have paid off quite well, as shown by retaining this.
The first ever race took place in 1972, where Manchester first triumphed over Salford. 43 years later, Salford has only won the race twice. This year was no different, with Manchester winning all 7 races. This has not hampered Salford's spirits, with each defeat makes them more determined to succeed.
Pretty gutted, obviously. It's not the result you want, is it? But you've got to deal with it, and you've got to come back stronger next year, haven't you? And you've got to learn from your mistakes, move on and come back bigger and better next year.
Salford Boat Club is celebrating its 50th anniversary, and with events like Varsity, it hopes to encourage another 50 years of participation. I decided it's time for me to take up the sport.
It's great to see it still going, you know. It's I really had no expectation as to what sort of legacy we'd leave at the end of this time, but it's really good to come back and see all the people participating. The supporters out here today is really good.
One thing is just as consistent as the result, the fierce rivalry between both clubs.
It's getting everyone together to say, right, there's a bit of rivalry here, let's really have a go and see if we can beat Manchester.
It's a great rivalry. We love them. They're our local uni. We love racing against them. We always put up a good fight. It's loads of fun.
As the tradition continues, perhaps next year, Salford will be able to turn the tide in their favour. Carly Foster, Keys TV News.
Thanks, Ben. The University of Salford's new Chancellor has had her official installation ceremony. The very jolly Professor Jackie Kay, MBE, is a writer and poet and lives in Manchester. Being Chancellor usually involves taking part in ceremonial events, but the Glaswegian plans to make more of an impact in her new post. So what about the weather? Have you been enjoying the weather at the moment, Bradley?
I have. It's very good. It's very nice. I think I've got a tan emerging. So
yeah, but we've had a few showers now and then, so it's a bit mixed, isn't it?
Yeah, but hopefully we'll get the nice weather back soon.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Now, Ryan has the weather for the bank holiday weekend.
Now, despite showers this morning, sunshine has developed this afternoon with temperatures hitting 12 degrees. But as the sun comes down this evening, we can expect clear skies with a chance of frost as temperatures dip to freezing in places. Looking ahead to tomorrow, we can expect similar highs with lows reaching 4 degrees. After a cold start, we can expect a dry day with light winds and plenty of sunshine. This will continue on into Saturday, with the bank holiday weekend looking unsettled, with rain on Sunday, followed by sunshine and more showers across Monday.
And finally, the Britpop battles of the 90s could be on the verge of a return.
After rumours emerged of an Oasis comeback, Rob Hall takes a look at how the Manchester music scene and the city itself has changed since we last heard from the Mancunian Hellraisers.
Boddington's bitter, football and Oasis are some of Manchester's finest commodities. Media City is new. However, what else has changed since Oasis split 5 years ago?
Little has changed at the Gallagher's Burnage family home on Cranwell Drive. Likewise, Fog Lane Park was the original location used for the promotional video for the band's second single, Shaker Maker. Mr. Sifter sold the songs when I was just 16, wrote Noel, singing about his local record shop.
Yeah, well, they always come back in the end, you know, maybe it's a loose end board or something, you know, but I mean, there's always some reason to reform. You forget the differences, that sort of thing. And soon remember them again once they've got together, don't they? But,
Biscuit Factory is the cornerstone of Burnage. Not wanting a job there was one of the reasons Noel started the band Oasis. One of the more significant changes is the demolition of Manchester City's main road football ground. Its site in the Moss Side location is now being developed into housing. Palace nightclub in Levenshulme used to be frequented by the Gallaghers. It's now a restaurant. But how has the music landscape changed since 2009?
The Manchester scene from the punk period onwards, you know, I think there's endlessly creating generation-defining bands. I think Oasis was the last one of those bands. That doesn't mean there's nothing left in Manchester. It's a great diverse musical scene now, but it's a completely different kind of thing now.
Well, I'm actually quite excited about the possible return of Oasis. What about you?
Well, I wish I was excited, Siobhan, but when I think of Oasis, I just think of the water.
All right.
I don't know who they are.
You don't actually know the band?
No.
What about you, Ben?
I couldn't be any more excited. To see them again after... I didn't see them in the heyday. To see them again would be absolutely brilliant.
Okay. Well, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.